let's be honest, some older boots from 8, 10 or 13 years ago haven't exactly aged all that well. But on the other hand, many other older boots still just hold up to the point where I've worn them and thought, these are actually pretty great even in 2023. So in today's video, I'll give you 10 older boots from 2014 or earlier that still hold up today and feel great. And who knows, it might just hit you right in the childhood feels. Let's do it. And we can start off with the Nike Magista Opus from 2014, which, if you remember, was actually the first takedown to that super innovative high Flyknit Magista Opera. But I actually reckon that the Opus was a little bit better. It's all preference, of course, but with this Kangalite and mesh-based upper that was stupidly soft, very, very comfortable. It had a wonderfully fitting heel and was, even by today's standards, very, very light. It's one of those boots that you can, even today, 9 years after, just pick up and enjoy immediately. And I think if they made this one today, people would just go, yeah, that's a solid boot. It holds up. Of course, also, we shouldn't forget the Adidas F50 ID0 from 2014. Which actually released in December 2013, so it's not too far off from being 10 years old. I'm really getting old. But I also think that this is one of the single best speed boots that Adidas have ever released, and it's in my top 5 of best speed boots ever, I think. But it is genuinely good. It had this really streamlined, pointy shape to it, this wonderfully thin and soft Hyper Touch upper, and it weighed 150 grams, which 10 years after is still stupidly light, right? And also, of course, the outsole on my black prototype here, it was just one of the best with its focus on multi-directional speed. And actually, it's so good that I wore my pair, these blackout prototypes, even last season, quite a lot. They work, still. But if you mention the Adizero, you also kind of have to mention the Mercurial Vapor 10, also from 2014, which again, it was the normal first takedown version of the high-cut knitted Superfly, which I think I preferred back in 2014, but trying them again today, I reckon I like the Vapors a bit better. So they have this really soft, very thin Taitian OLM upper, which just molded instantly to your foot, gave this very close connection to the ball. Of course, it had this almost trademark streamlined mercurial feel, and they were also very, very light. And this nylon outsole, while not as snappy as the carbon fiber on the Superfly, is still really, really good. For me, it's not quite the Vapor 11, which I like a little bit more, but it's still very, very good. Well, let's go back to October in 2012, where I looked something like this. So yeah. But what also happened was that Puma released their Evo Speed 1, and the leather version, I think, still holds up today. At least, especially comfort and performance-wise. Durability-wise, maybe not so much. But still, the upper here, super thin, very soft leather upper, had a slightly wider, more anatomically shaped toe box, and was just really easy and actually very comfortable to wear. And okay, it was a bit lacking in the whole lockdown department, but weighing around the 200-ish gram mark, it's still fun to wear today. And it looks pretty good still. And also, of course, we shouldn't forget one of my personal all-time favorites, the Adidas 11 Pro 2 SL from 2014, which, this is a wonderful little boot. It has this extremely soft, very, very pliable K-leather forefoot with, it's just got that nice plush padding and an outlandishly good, extremely comfortable fit that is up there amongst the most comfortable boots I think I've ever worn. It has the outsole from the Adizero and weighs 189 grams. It's good. It's so good. It's so good. Okay. There's also the Nike Jumbo Legend 5 from 2014, which it sounds a bit weird to say that it's already 5 Legend generations ago, because it's still awesome, but I mean, that's the way it is. Now, it had this mesh-based kangaroo leather forefoot and then a synthetic leather midfoot and a more anatomical shape to make it slightly more nimble and elegant compared to some of the older Legends, but while still maintaining that traditional classic level of Legend comfort that I think we all know and love. And I think if you gave this a slightly lighter outsole, it wouldn't feel too out of place if it came up against some of the modern Legends. It's really good. But let's stay in 2011, when Mizuno released their Morelia Neo. Now, the colorway is from 2014, but you get the point. And actually, it hasn't changed all that much in the last 12 years because it used the same recipe as they use today. So a super thin, very soft K-leather forefoot and a synthetic midfoot. And back then, it weighed 180 grams, which was absolutely ridiculous. Is it as good as the Morelia Neo 4? No, I don't think so. That's primarily because of the tooling, but I'd say it's closer than you might think. And in my book, this had no business being as good as it was back in 2011. One of the GOAT boots for me. But I also want to mention the Adidas Adipower Predator from 2011, which admittedly might be the boot that holds up the least on this list because it does feel kind of old, but still personally, I enjoy it a lot. And that is, I think, mostly because of the shape of the boot. It just fits so well. And obviously, while it is calf leather, Taurus leather, it gets wonderfully soft in the forefoot. I think the boot has this balance of being relatively sleek and streamlined, having the solidity in the feel, and also because of those low-profile Predator elements, and still feeling relatively elegant, controlled on the ball. And honestly, I still occasionally wear and enjoy them today. And honestly, it's a pretty tough one to follow, but the Adidas 11 Pro Crazy Lights here do a pretty solid job at that. It comes with this hybrid touch upper, so a synthetic leather upper, but because it has a pretty lush foam package on the inside, it does feel really, really soft and very effortlessly comfortable with a super nice fit in the heel as well. It's also pretty light because it's on the Adizero tooling, which is great, by the way. There are 3 boots on this list with this tooling. And it just gives you this combination of a no questions level of comfort, a very elegant touch, and modern lightweight. I also think it is ugly as sin, but you know, it feels pretty good to wear. But yeah, it's a snake. Yeah. Not my cuppa. And finally, a boot you've probably been waiting for to pop up. The Nike Hypervenom Phantom from 2013, which I think a lot of people still see as one of the best modern Nike boots around. And to be honest, nothing really has ever gotten close to that free sensation of that mesh silicone Nike skin upper. And okay, the lockdown on the first couple of colorways here, it's kind of rubbish. They fixed that on the 1.5s, which are also solid, and if you want even more lockdown, there's of course also the Hypervenom Finish, the facelifted one. But if you prefer that free sensation, even today, these are just wild. But I know it's a long video, but I also just want to give an honorable mention to the Nike CTR 360 Maestri 2s, which, okay, they're on the heavy side, and arguably the 360 Maestri 3s are a little bit better, but I just prefer the fit in these. But would I wear them today? Lighter outsole? Yeah, cool. I also really have to mention the Nike Mercurial Vapor 8s from 2012. They just brought the Mercurial back after a couple of very, very rubbish generations. And you know, this super soft, thin Teishinol M12 upper with that suede-like finish, glass fiber outsole, absolute magic. And I think the only reason it's not on the actual list, and I wouldn't necessarily wear these as the first today, is because the fit was just weird. It was really long for me, and I just couldn't really ever find my right size. But the boots are magical, they look magical. But if you have an old favorite that I haven't mentioned, don't get mad at me. I mean, we had to end the video at some point, right? But instead, you can leave it in the comment section right down below, and I'd love to hear it. Also remember that if you don't really care about the old boots, but just want new shiny boots instead, you can hit the link right over there. Go to unisportstore.com. That is the place to be. And finally, of course, if you haven't done so already, remember to subscribe to the channel with the notifications on. And with those words, I'll be signing off. Gotta clean this up. Cheerio.